Some days I think my drive to be a rule follower is the pits. I have this sense of responsibility and commitment to do things the right way. I was just professing to my husband that maybe being too honest holds me back. And you know what? He agreed. He wasn't hinting I should lie. Rather, he made me think about my unwavering dedication to following the rules. Where is this list anyway? Who wrote them? And why do I have this innate drive to follow them? I feel like I should be the one to pick up the kids or make dinner. My to-do list is crowded with items labeled I should. How about your to-do list? Today I'll discuss how to break free from unwritten rules while maintaining your integrity. Join me. Find the full transcript and more resources for physician moms at inspiredmommds.com/27. You're listening to Inspired Mom MDs with host Cindy Van Prague, helping physician moms take back control and prioritize what matters most so they thrive in private practice and at home. Hi, and thank you for joining me today. Rules are comfortable, right? They got me through college and medical school. They continue to direct my practice of medicine with a definition of the right way to do things. I have a high regard for them because they're supposed to represent the tested and proven way to operate or function. For example, I follow the American Society of Anesthesiologists, or ASA, guidelines for setting up my office-based anesthesia practice. I follow their checklist to make sure my practice is safe and compliant with the top standards in my field. That feels good. It satisfies my internal feeling to do the right thing. And it also reduces the fear of malpractice because I did everything right to the best of my ability. So rules have their place. How else would there be order in society? Of course, there are necessary rules governing all areas of life besides work. I, for one, am more grateful for traffic laws after a trip to India years ago. About 20 years ago, we visited New Delhi for a couple weeks. We traveled all over by car and rickshaw. What terrified me the most? The free-for-all on the highways and intersections. Drivers didn't seem to follow any rules, and we were often stuck in like a mosh pit of smoke-billowing rickshaws. To this day, I'm sometimes amazed that people actually stop at lights and stop signs here in the US. I can't shake that feeling. Yes, vital societal rules that ensure safety and order need to be followed. But there are also a multitude of unwritten rules that shouldn't control you, but they do. These are the external expectations that feel like rules. I have a sense that I should do something that really isn't a vital societal rule. It's more a sense of obligation I internalize because, well, that's just the way things are. So I fill my to-do list with things that I accept because, they just fall in my lap. But here's the problem. You give away a little control with each I should that appears on your schedule. Here are some examples. There's an expectation that a mom's primary role should be to care for her children, even above her successful career as a physician. Or there is the guilt she is pressured to feel for prioritizing her career. Or how about this? Because you're the doctor in the family, you should pick up all the tasks of taking care of ailing relatives. We are a product of our society's beliefs and norms. I do agree we need to live within this framework to a certain degree. But what about when the unwritten rules start to hurt you or your productivity or your happiness? The consequences of being too stringent of a rule follower can hurt you. You become so busy running around to serve others, and serving others is an admirable trait that so many doctors have, right? But not at the expense of your own vitality. It's as though your vitality is your candle flame. You light up others and you fan their flames so they're bright, like your family and your kids or friends. But at some point, you start to flicker and grow dim because you're giving away too much. You start to notice decreased satisfaction or just overall well being. So you can still follow your integrity while you push back on these unwritten assumptions or rules. You don't need to compromise the integrity. Your integrity aligns your actions with your beliefs, right? I feel like staying true to my values of honesty and reliability and being ethical not only allows me to live with myself, but builds trust with other people. My integrity is not just about avoiding wrongdoing, but also about choosing the right path, even when it's difficult. I want to live authentically. I want to create a life that is truly meaningful and satisfying. And I don't need to compromise this integrity as I push back on these rules. You can question assumptions and the unwritten rules that women face. These societal assumptions and unwritten rules can limit women and perpetuate gender inequality. Here's what you can do: question assumptions. Here's some examples of assumptions that I'm thinking about and how to question them. First, question assumptions about your role as a woman. The assumption is women are primarily responsible for domestic duties like cleaning, cooking, childcare. A disproportionate share of duties do fall to the women. You can ask, why should these tasks be gendered? Can these responsibilities be shared or delegated fairly somehow? Sure, each household is different with a myriad of factors to consider, but it doesn't hurt to question if you are the one that's swamped with all the chores. The assumption may also be that a woman is naturally more nurturing, which makes her more perfect for these roles. I am damn sure men are just as capable and do incredible jobs as dad and caregiver, too. Maybe the question should be, why do we assume that dads can't be just as nurturing and caring? Another example is about your capabilities as a woman. Some insinuate that women are not as capable as men in certain fields or professions, like leadership, science, law, medicine. It's ridiculous, right? Well, it may be a seed planted as a young girl when the attitudes and the unwritten rules were stronger. So there is a reason to question the barriers women face. There is also a common assumption that women are just more emotional than men and therefore less rational. I would argue questioning whether being human and showing any emotion is a sign of weakness or strength. How strong is that person who normalizes having emotions that we all experience? Another assumption would be the expectations of women. There's this common expectation that women should always be polite, accommodating, even when they disagree with someone or feel uncomfortable. It's like this idea that women are demure. There are several familiar double standards about the image of men and women. For example, a man is confident, honest, or ambitious, while a woman, who acts the same, is difficult, rude, or power hungry. I know I have restrained my opinions at times because I didn't want to be seen as arrogant or bossy. I also felt like it wasn't worth my energy to fight it either, and that's probably my personality speaking. In retrospect, what I could have done is question myself and why I was letting these expectations stand in my way. It was okay to express my true self. Just because I say no doesn't mean I'm instigating a fight. These are just a few examples, and there are many other assumptions and unwritten rules that women face. The big picture is, by questioning these assumptions and rules, women can challenge societal norms and create a more equitable world. The more immediate, focused picture is that questioning assumptions will reduce your I should list. It can unburden you of what can be delegated and allow you time for the more important items. So some rules have their place and some are meant to be broken. While following necessary rules is important, blindly adhering to all societal expectations, of course, can be detrimental. These expectations or assumptions often disproportionately affect women and limit their opportunities and well-being. So by questioning societal norms, women can challenge gender inequality and create more equality. They can break free from limiting expectations and reclaim agency. After all, integrity is the cornerstone of life when it aligns your actions with your beliefs and values. And your integrity will foster trust and respect. You can do both. Don't forget to join me next week for another dose of support and inspiration. And until then, take care of yourselves and take care of those who matter most. It's time to take control and thrive. Thank you for tuning in to Inspired Mom MDs. Please share with other physician moms and leave a review if you found value from this podcast.